hair looks like a mess. Cool. We like.
Hello, everybody.
Howdy.
Yeah.
What? Hold on. Captain Brooks to Earth Control. Captain Brooks to Earth Control. Watchtower. We got a problem. Mike and Kim are going live. Hope that worked.
Okay. Can everybody hear us? Yay!
Yay.
I did it right. Oh my goodness. Thank you everybody so much for joining us. Yes. I know we're a few minutes early, but happy hour.
I'm not kidding, guys. This peanut butter flavored whiskey is pretty good. But let's make one thing perfectly clear. Just so that nobody misunderstands or thinks that I'm doing this drunk. I said this years ago. What you don't see is I drink water whenever I drink alcohol so that I can stay hydrated.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you spending a Sunday afternoon with us. My goodness, we got lots of things to cover. I think we can find things to talk about.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay.
I make no guarantees. Mike is uncensored, unedited. So, well, I guess I am too. So who knows?
I've been told to watch my P's and Q's.
Yes. Now, if for some reason you guys lose us, we're having a windstorm and it may blow the satellite dish right off the house. So if you lose us, that's why.
That's our excuse. Yeah, that's our excuse.
Yeah. It's what happens when you live out in the middle of nowhere.
Cheers, Lily Cat. Cheers.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. Oh, it's so wonderful to be sitting here with friends and just talking. Yes. So, as the description said, we have the elders' letters. Oh, my goodness. And I wanted to try to do this live just because I love the interaction. You know, like I said, just like friends just sitting here
The
talking.
energy's good and positive.
Yeah, I want you to feel our energy, and we feel the love and, you know, support and energy from all of you. So we appreciate it. Oh my goodness. Hola. Hello, everybody.
Yes. Fixing my faith, Lorraine Oldham. There's quite a few. Curly Talk. Oh man, it's just so many. So many names I don't recognize.
All over the world.
Yeah.
My goodness. Thank you guys. Thank you. Okay,
I'm
without
from Norway.
without further ado, we have the elders' letters. My goodness. Announcements and reminders, March 2024.
Wait, isn't that the responsibility of the congregational brother to do this? Isn't it the...
Do you want to read this?
Hell no.
For elders, deaf publishers attending and participating in sign language meetings. Many deaf publishers are unable to attend sign language congregation meetings in person because of distance. While it is preferred that publishers attend meetings in person with a local congregation, we understand that deaf publishers have unique circumstances. Therefore, it has been decided, after careful consideration.
After careful prayer.
Prayerful
consideration,
yeah. It has been decided that a deaf publisher may regularly tie in by video conference to the meetings of a sign language congregation without transferring to that congregation. The local congregation will continue to hold the congregation's publisher records.
I have a question. What use are these things really? We're not talking to anybody. Oops. Sorry, guys. That was a blunder. I just messed up my hair.
Yeah. Well, I'm used to doing podcasts.
I know. I know.
Are you mocking?
I'm mocking myself if you haven't figured that one out already.
But I shut down all the windows, so there shouldn't be any dinging from, you know, all the social media and our kids and stuff. So anyway, now you made me lose my place. The local elder should maintain regular contact with the deaf publishers and ensure that he receives regular shepherding and other in-person assistance. The deaf publisher is not expected to attend the meetings of both congregations each week. Well, thank God for that.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
possible, it is preferred that he connect remotely from an auxiliary room in the local kingdom hall to a sign language meeting that is held at the same time as the local congregation's meeting. This will allow for in-person association before and after meetings. When a deaf publisher wishes to tie in regularly to the meetings of a sign language congregation, the elder should send a letter to the sign language congregation to explain his circumstances. The letter should state clearly whether he is qualified to deliver student assignments on the midweek meeting, and if he serves as an elder or ministerial servant, whether he is qualified to care for other parts of the midweek meeting, and to deliver public talks. The two bodies of elders should maintain good communication with each other.
Let us know how that turns out. Good communication. Yeah. Let us know how that one turns out for you guys.
Yeah. Application to expand your theocratic service. The application to expand your theocratic service will be available only in the My Applications feature of JW Hub.
In other words, the online religion.
Yeah. Now, this I thought was important because we have been hearing for the past couple of years that there's been a great schism within a lot of congregations over the jab, because basically it was mandated for, the elder and ministerial training school and, pioneer meetings and
circuit
overseers and several of those.
Yeah,
and
it was a mandate.
Yeah, and there's even, a letter from the governing body from back then that they were mandating, basically pushing it. And so anyway, I thought this was interesting because it says safety precautions for attending theocratic schools. It is no longer required that a publisher be vaccinated against COVID-19 to attend a theocratic school in person. Therefore, the use of the document Safety Precautions for Attending Theocratic Schools has been discontinued and the document has been removed from JW Hub. So they have to change their books and forms and everything else. Yeah.
Yes.
Now, along those lines, we had gotten this a while back, and Atlantis and I wasn't quite sure, if it was legit because we hadn't heard anything else. But it appears this was from it was a coordinators committee to the circuit overseers. COVID-19 requirements for theocratic schools. This is a notification for all traveling overseers around the world that with the approval of the coordinators committee, the service committee of the governing body has decided to remove all COVID-19 requirements from all theocratic schools. The coordinator of the body of elders is no longer required to contact each student at a school to determine vaccination status. You will no longer have an accompanying document for Pioneer Service School and the School for Congregation Elders with immediate effect. So I thought that was interesting.
Well, what's even more interesting to me than all of this mumbo jumbo is Let, during one of the governing body updates, said, it's ever more clear now that, Jesus said in the time of the end, there would be pestilences. And then he goes on and says, this is the time of the last of the final part of the last days and all that. And now what are we, a couple of years removed from that and Armageddon still hasn't come?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Constellation Pegasus. Love you too.
Thank you.
Yeah, love all of you. We appreciate you being here with us. Yeah. This is an interesting one too. Consent to the use of personal data option on JW Hub. The My Profile feature on JW Hub has been enhanced to obtain the user's consent for the processing of his personal data so that he may be considered and contacted for possible expanded theocratic service. So if you consent to them using your data, well, guess what? You might be used. Sorry, I know it's a little warm in
this
here.
day and age, you don't need to send a profile picture because they don't care if you got a beard now or not.
Yeah. Yeah. We had to shut the door because the puppies are going crazy. They want in the house really bad. They don't like asking them to review or renew their consent. The brothers assigned to provide technical assistance to JW Hub users should inform publishers who are allowed to submit applications on JW Hub that if they receive this type of email, it should be given prompt attention. New official gazette, Amtsblatt, only for Germany. A new issue of the official Gazette of Jehovah's Witnesses in Germany, volume 2024, number 2, has been published. And then they have the link to the German jw.org website. Blah, blah, blah.
It's about all it's worth.
Yeah. For coordinators of the bodies of elders, announcement for congregations. Please ensure that the announcement for congregations is read at the next midweek meeting and thereafter posted on the information board for at least 1 month. For life and ministry meeting overseers, convention reminders, campaign and review. Please follow the instructions regarding conventions that appear in the Shepherd Book, chapter 20, paragraphs 19 to 20. The video convention reminders is available in JW Library under Library Video, our meetings and ministry meetings, assemblies, and conventions.
How are they not in online religion now? How are they not? I really wish my mother was sitting here so that I could put this right between her eyes.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. This is just saying that if you need help with the My Applications feature to file an application, review of Pioneers Field Service activity. This is for secretaries and service overseers. Please review the field service activity and hour credit of all regular pioneers. Because remember, the pioneers still have to count their time.
Yep. So they get that one-on-one attention with the circuit overseer that, no one else gets now.
Yeah. All right. For congregations, all they're going to hear about is if you want to apply, go to the application to expand your theocratic service. So out of all of those, this is all the congregation is going to hear, that if you want to apply for the design, construction, volunteer application, and all of that. So that's all they're going to hear. They're not going to hear the rest of all of that.
No.
Yeah.
No. That's our job.
Well, you would think they would tell the rank and file that they are doing away with the jab mandate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I guess that's only important information.
Yeah.
For the
there again, it's the same old thing,
Yeah.
Information control through fear. It's that's all it is.
Hello, welcome everybody. Thank you
Yes.
so much for joining us. My goodness.
Oh, 280. Wow, that's
Yeah,
good.
thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
you spending Sunday with us. We appreciate you guys so much. We have the best viewers, don't we?
Well, we'll try to keep you as entertained as best as we can.
Now, this is a new attempt at sharing a screen with you. I don't know how well this is going to work.
If we lose you, it's not the satellite. It'll be her.
Yeah, it'll be me. Because, let's see, I think. Okay, select a window or screen.
Don't ask me. I'm lost. If it doesn't have a trigger and a hammer, I'm lost.
That's wanting to use that. Yeah, I'm not sure. But I will put the link down below to these. JWAVcenter.org features. When you go to the Sterling Mine Road, and this is the Watchtower AV Center, click on features and you'll see all the features they're going to have. And this is the Ramapo construction project they're doing. And on those features, it's like, oh my God, they're going to have the charging stations for electric vehicles. They're going to have solar. They are going to actually tap into the earth with geothermal and timber. timber and all of this. Well, when you go down and see who all is on their team, I noticed one company here, BR plus A Consulting Engineers, Watchtower, and click on projects. And then when you scroll down, you'll see the Watchtower and Bible Tract Society, new headquarters, campus development. I called Mike in and I said, look at this picture. It's like, what is this going to cost them in solar panels? I mean, solar panels aren't cheap.
No.
This is going to cost them a huge amount of money. But this, I think it's an engineering company, 21 buildings, 2.1 million square foot development on 249 forested acres. The Live, Work, Play campus has offices, an AV production studio, an events center, 10 mid-rise residential buildings, and amenities, including a fitness center. The campus is expected to receive approximately 1,300 visitors per day. Special emphasis has been placed on the preservation of the natural landscape, as well as the efficiency and sustainability of the site's operations. This project has been under design for over 2 years and will begin a 5-year construction period in early 2022. And I noticed they said that they are, let's see, was it this site? Yeah. The electrical infrastructure will provide electrical vehicle charging stations for 30% of the vehicles to be parked on campus. All right. I'm looking for, they mentioned timber. Sustainable structure. The 10 residential buildings are designed as mass timber buildings rather than traditional concrete construction. Mass timber is a new category of wood product comprised of multiple solid wood panels nailed or glued together. And that was a first for me because I had never heard of that before. So
that's quite the campus, quite the development.
Yeah.
Live-in quarters, movie studio.
Yeah, you guys are right.
Solar,
megabucks.
Yeah. Solar charging stations and their little cars. Even a little recreation center. But you know what? What's missing from this? There's something missing.
What's missing
from this? Would you guys like to know what's missing from this cult compound?
I mean, they got everything from solar panels to fitness center, and I'm sure tennis courts. What's missing?
Tony Morris. Oh! Tony Morris. Sorry about your luck there, brother Morris. You're never going to take advantage of any of these facilities.
Yeah. Well, Marty says just need a flux capacitor. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they need to go back to the future and do away with the whole 1914 and that generation and all of that garbage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tony Morris is missing from that cult compound.
Yeah. Something else too, I noticed that a couple of YouTubers have done some videos, and there was even some things on Twitter that I had seen, and a lot are speculating in that latest May 2024 Watchtower. It's like, oh, well, there's a picture of a Muslim woman. It is Watchtower saying, oh, well, we're not going to be able to reach the Muslims and, several other groups. And then somebody else had done a video about Watchtower and Islam. And I haven't had a chance to watch their video yet, but I just wanted to mention, it's like, we should talk about that because Watchtower has tried to preach to Muslims. And I don't know if any of you new timers, new generation know about this little brochure, The Guidance of God, Our Way to Paradise. This brochure, printed in 1998, was specifically designed to preach to Muslims.
Right.
Okay. Now, they even had in some of the KMs, I got a couple of KMs here, they actually had presentations of how to talk to Muslims. This one here, the Kingdom Ministry, November 1999. I keep forgetting, camera's over there. Brain fart. What will you say to a Muslim? Look at, they had a whole section here. How to talk to a Muslim. Down here, be friendly, tactful, and discerning. Be friendly and tactful. Basically.
Don't tell them they're going to die at Armageddon if they don't become a Jehovah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's basically what the message is to everyone else around the world.
Yeah.
And they even had a little diddly in the reasoning book about how to talk to Muslims.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say the February 1998 KM here, they have a presentation. Be careful what you say. But they're telling them, try to make the connection that basically the Bible and the Quran are very similar.
Yeah.
I'm going to read a few things from this brochure. Witnessing to Muslims. See chapter 12 in the Mankind's Search for God. And there was a whole section here on Islam. And basically trying to make a connection with them and say, see, if you believe in the prophet Moses and, Moses talked to God and God revealed his real name to him, then, and it's like Muslims aren't going to buy that.
Or Father Abraham, because there's that, Middle East connection to their patriarchs.
Yeah. Well, like here in the KM, they say, because they do not believe that God had a son, Muslims recognize Jesus Christ as a lesser prophet of God, but nothing more. And then it says, turn to page 24 in the reasoning book, on how to talk to him. But, they have presentations here in everything. But yeah, a lot of people don't know. Yeah. A lot of ex-witnesses don't know that this brochure specifically, and I remember, them talking about it from the platform.
Mm-hmm.
And they have wrong acts and false beliefs of Judaism and Christendom and what God says in the Holy Scriptures. Right here in this box here, so that you could compare the two. And it's interesting because this brochure actually has paragraphs and questions. So it was actually used to study with Muslims.
So are you going to use this next Saturday out in service?
No.
No? I was just asking. Just curious.
Yeah. And they're trying to do, unity. Thank you so much, Sixes. Love you too.
Thank you.
Captain Sunshine, thank you. Love you too.
Thank you for the donation toward the next bottle of whiskey. Yeah.
Well, thank you. We appreciate it very much. Here, towards the end of the brochure, each one of us has a responsibility of making a choice. Will you choose God's guidance? It alone shows the way to paradise. And here, there's a box.
Paradise. Does that say anything about the 72 virgins? Does it?
No.
Then it ain't paradise. Simple as that.
Have Judaism and Christendom corrupted the Torah and the Injil?
Oh,
I'm probably mispronouncing that.
Yeah.
But yeah. And it's interesting because most quotes in this brochure are from the Quran.
Right.
Not from the New World Translation. So they were really pushing, back at this time to convert Muslims. So I thought this was interesting.
Yeah, and we all recognize now that Watchtower is really not putting forth any strong effort to convert anybody in the world, because it's so easy for anybody now to go, to YouTube online and Google who and what Jehovah's Witnesses are, and by far and large, all they're going to see is what YouTubers like us are doing around the world in their own language.
Yeah.
And we all have to recognize that a lot of Watchtower's literature is completely outdated. Even as something simple as one of these little brochures we carry in our pocket, these little pamphlets. What do Jehovah's Witnesses believe? it's no good because what they believe when they printed this is now changed. except I do want to emphasize the back page, a little bit of this paragraph. But we believe that survival is dependent upon meeting Jehovah's requirements. As the Bible says, the world is passing away, but he that does the will of the Watchtower Bible Tract Society remains forever. Because that's what it is. It's the will of Watchtower.
Welcome, everybody. I know there's some new ones that have just come on, so thank you.
So much going up and down.
I know,
can't read quick
I know.
enough, so
I'm
thank
sorry.
You, for the
you know, we can't, interact with all of this because the chat is just going so quickly. It's difficult for me to talk and read at the same time.
And it's difficult for me to pay attention to read, to pay attention to her to correct her when she says something wrong. Obviously wrong.
I'm usually correcting you.
Well, that's why there's a lot of editing in our videos. So
yeah.
I got to be real careful doing this live.
Yeah. I was a little nervous doing this live because usually it's like, I can edit, him out. But
I promised her I wouldn't be dropping any F-bombs.
We appreciate it. Yeah. I have something here, an email. Thank you very much. We still get a lot of emails, and I'm running a little bit behind because I was sick for almost the entire month of January. My goodness, I think I just finished December's emails, the end of December's emails. So, I appreciate everybody's patience. And, but anyway, this was interesting. So thank you. And I want to thank everybody so much for sending me information, and especially Atlantis. If it wasn't for Atlantis, he's the one that sends me most of the elders' letters and, several information. In fact, he sent me a file. It's like, oh my goodness, I haven't had a chance to read it all, but he has proof that Christ did not choose the Bible students in 1918. So I'm anxious to look at that.
Well, there again, all the years that fine gentleman has done research and stored it away for everybody's benefit. Truly, I dare say he is a pillar in this community.
Yeah. Love all
number
you guys
11
too.
caps. I wish I could find some number 11 caps. Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you, Kelly. Yeah, it's been kind of difficult to find a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's why I've gone to making my own.
Yeah, he's been making his own. Okay, so back to here. The email. Thank you very much. Watchtower Finance is going down in Germany. And if our dear friend Orel is on here or going to listen to this later, he will find this interesting. Just wanted to tell you about an experience I had yesterday in a German congregation. It was so weird. I don't even know what really to think of it. Well, we'll give a few opinions.
Yeah, because we have some information that we can add to this from others that have emailed us and those that we have conversed with. And we're seeing this as a much larger issue at this time.
Yeah, this isn't the first time we have heard this. And this is why I'm bringing it up, because we actually hear this a lot and all the time. Yesterday, the elders mentioned the finance report of that particular congregation. 1,156 euros coming in. The bill was 1,578 euros. So their bills are actually more than what they took in donations. Mm-hmm. That's a minus. Yes. They didn't even mention the minus, but telling people that they donated, wait for it, 31 euros to the branch. 31 euros? I mean, isn't that only like $25 US dollars?
But that 31 euros could have gotten them out of the red here.
Well,
see?
Almost. That's like a 400 euro difference. But yeah, 31 euros to the branch?
Well,
that is nothing.
Monthly.
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 Oh, okay. All right. I get you now.
Thank you for correcting me. That would have been embarrassing.
Before the pandemic, the average donation was above 250 euros. Kimmy, Watchtower is done in Europe. That's what I said a long time ago. The average JW in Germany is around 60 years old. Only very few younger people have children. Most decide to stay without to be. Yeah. At least 10 people of a congregation are 80s. Count 10 years from now, Watchtower is done in Europe. I asked some people from other congregations, they have the same problem.
Yeah.
People are getting poorer. Since many JW women went pioneering, they worked only part-time. The rent is right now around 48% of the average salary one made. I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That is a tremendous amount of rent. Many women depend on the government for benefit support. In general, there are many JWs who decide to stay in the benefit system to be able to do pioneering. And we know of several that same thing. Same thing.
And there again, that's what we alluded to earlier. We're actually hearing this a lot.
Yeah.
That the elders in certain congregations that are financially well-to-do, they're the ones that are having to make up these deficits monthly. And I'm not exaggerating when I say monthly.
Yeah. Thank you, Lisa, because that converted to $33 US dollars. So
Yeah.
that's not much.
No.
That's
no,
not
that's
much.
No.
Yeah. Well, I was going to mention we have a friend in one of our old congregations, and he said that he was talking to an elder and his wife, and they were complaining about having to make up the deficit every single month.
Yeah.
Now, this is a very financially well off. I don't know if he's a current elder or ex-elder. I don't remember. He was an elder when we were in the congregation.
Yeah, and there again, we're hearing this across the board.
Yeah, a lot of the PMO elders, they're saying, they're tired of going to circuit assemblies and having to fork out, money out of their own pockets to make up this deficit.
Yeah, exactly.
So Watchtower does not care.
And, and that's in lieu of Watchtower having a donation button on their jw.org website. So it's got to make you stop and think, if a lot of the money tends to be funneling through the website, then what's the point of even getting any money out of the congregations? And when you see they're only, donating $33 a month to Watchtower, wait a minute, 30, that's a Freemason number, ain't it?
But that's nothing.
No, that's
nothing.
Hell, you and I spend almost that much when we go out to lunch.
Almost, yeah. That's, that's not much at all. I mean, that's not even enough to keep the governing bodies in their suits.
It's not even enough to buy a bottle of whiskey.
Well, he probably has to buy his own now.
Now he does, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. So there's one other thing that we want to talk about, and it has to do with, I'm not sure how to phrase this, the hypnotic use of words. Words repeated hypnotically. Now, we're living in a world right now, particularly in this country, where a lot of words are being used in a hypnotic fashion, such as insurrection, fraud,
over and
over again. And they can be hypnotic, whether you may realize this or not. So let me illustrate it like this. And it's real simple. It's real simple, because those of us that study and research how this works, we can absolutely see that Watchtower employs the same hypnotic repetition of words.
Yep. Stay true.
Yeah.
You got it.
See, that's exactly
truth.
And it's funny, stay tuned 61, because over the past couple of days, I've been having discussions with another ex-JW on this exact same topic. Okay. So this is what Watchtower does. How did you come into the truth? Did you study the truth book? If you want to strike up a conversation with, some JW sitting next to you, ask them, how long have you been into the truth? Look, I found the truth. Do you know the truth? Those words are hypnotically what's the word I want? Hypnotically used over and over and over again, even to the point that when you do wake up and leave, sometimes we stumble and say, well, when I was in the truth, you were never in the truth. You were in a lie. See, that's how that works.
Well, the thing is that word alone, you're in the truth. We all had that warm, fuzzy feeling as Jehovah's Witnesses. We're in the truth. We're special. We're going to be saved by Jehovah. So that word had a whole, well, I can think of one.
A hypnotic use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some may not like this, but I mean, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
The court case against the Mag 7. How many times have you heard over and over again, criminals, they're libelous, criminals.
Criminally liable.
And we haven't been charged with anything.
Yeah, so the repetitious use of that word criminal has a hypnotic effect on your mind. And those type of hypnotic effects, sometimes for a lot of people, are hard to disengorge.
Yeah.
But just pay attention, even to the news cycle. You can go to one channel and you hear a prepared script, and they say the same word from one news cycle to the next channel, to the next channel, to the next channel. That's how they hypnotize you into the BS they're actually feeding you. And it's just amazing how many people cannot detach from that cycle.
Well, our daughter is a sociology major, and she recognizes the cults. I say cults because she says all of them are. And she sees the pattern, and you see the pattern in all of them. All of them.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
They all use the same hypnotic, repetition of words.
Yeah.
And then sometimes without even recognize it, you're communicating with an ex-JW and say, well, I came into the truth. Well, no, I know it's not the truth, but see, it still takes a while to destroy those false uses of those words in your own mind. And that, for a lot of people, that takes a lot of effort.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah. Yeah. The truth since the 47th flip-flop and the 6th false doomsday prophecy.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, exactly correct. But, but even if you leave Watchtower, you have to still be on guard for, when you go into what you are now going to perceive as a normal way of life, leaving the cult, leaving the religion. And then you have to pay attention to what the world is now trying to do to you, because let's face it, whether it's through the use of the Bible, through the use of the news media, what they're educating your kids in school, what the medical field might want to be educating you with, it's all propaganda to keep you either in fear or under control. And that's why, in my opinion, the internet, and more precisely the YouTube, this is the mechanism, when properly used, can destroy all of that. But you've got to be paying attention at the outset of everything.
Yeah. And I mean, like we keep saying, the social media is so powerful because it gives all of us a voice. And for an example, over on TikTok, my daughter has a TikTok, and she has done a video this morning, and she sent that to me. And I hadn't even heard about this.
Oh, yeah.
The Kellogg's boycott.
Cereal. It's not just for dinner anymore.
And watching some of these videos, and these people are really upset. And it's like, well, what's this about? It's just cereal. So the CEO says, well, have cereal for dinner because you're too broke to, buy meat, give chicken the night off. Yeah. But when you look at it further, look at the pattern and look at it deeper. And when you look at history,
That's
French Revolution, wasn't it Marie Antoinette or one of those that said, "Let them eat cake."
Let them eat cake.
See, and it may just not sound like a big deal to most people, but I think a lot of us are fed up to hear with all of these cults, these rich politicians and business people and corporations who are making a killing on all of us. And it's like, you know what? We need to start sending them a message with boycotts. And I'm not going to tell anybody, what to do. But if you're curious to what's going on, just go over to TikTok and type in Kellogg's boycott. And it's starting to leak over into YouTube now.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them because, the CEO of Kellogg's is telling everybody to eat cake or eat cereal for dinner because you can't afford to feed your family. And they are so disconnected.
Yeah.
Same thing with Watchtower. If you think about it, the governing body does the same thing. They are so disconnected from the average Jehovah's Witness. Jehovah's Witnesses are having a struggle right now. And I know of several who came off the pioneer list because, work part-time so you can give Jehovah full-time service. So, yeah, it's junk. It's junk. The last time I ate a bowl of their, processed cereal, I was sick.
It's interesting because Kim's encouraged me to get my own little TikTok, and I haven't done anything yet because we just set it up today. I'm not quite sure how I want to do that yet, but I'm just waiting to see somebody, either in a TikTok video or somebody take this over to YouTube, like what some of the anti-establishment people did regarding Bud Light and that fiasco. I can just imagine.
Those were funny.
Yeah. And, and with all of that being said, Kim went into a back bedroom where we have, some food stored just in case, we're out without power for a long length of time. And she actually had 3 boxes of Kellogg's cereal. They were 3 years old? So we bought this stuff 3 years ago and now it's spoiled. So now it's going to meet its final end. It's going to meet its final end with a shotgun, like Armageddon soon.
But that's the thing is, these elitists, these globalists, there's these governing body, they're so out of touch and they don't understand that people are having it rough. Here, they're Jehovah's Witnesses, like some of them, in a lot of areas, the nearest Kingdom Hall. Well, our old area where we lived in Arizona, Sedona you have a 50-mile drive to the Kingdom Hall twice a week. And with gas so expensive, or like you would say in the UK, petrol, it's so expensive. It's like a lot of people can't do it at all.
Yeah, and the thing that I'm enjoying seeing is, along with some of these boycotts and stuff that they're calling for, I'm also seeing other TikTok people putting videos up how to overcome this by doing things yourself and being more self-reliant than just having to go to the grocery store. I think I'm going to buy this for dinner or anything, whatever. And it's really getting to be a challenge for women who traditionally, are the ones that feed their family at the end of the day. And yet the woman doesn't have enough money, to buy what most people would perceive as a healthy meal. And now it's being suggested, relegate this to cereal at night.
Yeah. And many are saying, why stop at Kellogg's?
Yeah.
And they're talking about fast foods. It's like, it's not that cheap anymore. And I haven't eaten fast food for years because it makes me sick. I have chemical issues. But some are saying like a cheeseburger and French fries, just cheeseburger, French fries, and a drink for a couple now can be like $30.
Yeah.
And you can go to a little bit better restaurant and have something better. And I don't even eat cereal. I actually make my own granola. I can go to Costco and get a 10-pound bag of organic oats and make my own granola, which is really good.
Now you do understand that when they say organic, it could have some filtered in cricket wings, cricket legs, maybe grasshopper legs.
Well,
that's what organic means.
They allow a certain amount of bugs.
They allow a certain amount of feces too.
Yeah. Well, like when I open the cereal, it's full of weevils.
Yeah.
Well,
that's how long it's been sitting on our shelves.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's interesting because, you know, we haven't eaten this stuff for quite some time now. And she wanted me to taste some of the cornflakes to see if they were still like fresh, you know, even though we're a couple
Not the ones with weevils.
Yeah, a couple 3 years old. And it's like, you know, it wasn't really stale like you would assume something stale, but it's like you could literally taste the chemicals instead of just the corn flavor.
And I did not know when I was watching one of these TikTok boycott Kellogg's cereal is you can actually make your own Rice Krispies, and it's really cheap and quick. And so you can just go to TikTok or probably Google it, you know, how to make your own Rice Krispies. It's just a handful of rice thrown in some hot oil, and then you just take it out and mix some sugar and cinnamon, whatever you want in it. So,
well, there again, like I've said before, and you friends in the chat have heard me say this at least a dozen times, if not more. This day and age, ignorance is an absolute choice.
Exactly.
It is a choice. You
Thank
become
you.
a serial killer. Yeah, true. Very true. Hey, I resemble that comment.
Yeah. Yeah. Big Macs, all of them are expensive.
Speaking of which, I just want to touch back on this topic a little bit about the truth. You know, I kind of forgot something. I want to, again, emphasize how important or how easy it is, you know, to buy into this mesmerizing word hypnotic thing. Okay. So repeat after me. Mike and Kim are the best. Mike and Kim are the best. Mike and Kim are the best. But just see how easy it is to hypnotically and put somebody in a trance.
Yeah. My goodness. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for your comments. I know I don't have the time because I'm busy on my other channel, you know, to read all your comments underneath our videos, but we leave that to you. You know, Kim and I have always been the two type of people that we want to have conversations with, two type of people that we will let you say what you want to say under the comment sections. We don't go through like some of the other YouTubers and get rid of the comments that are, you know, not favorable to you or anything like that, because that's
the negative ones.
Yeah, that's what the elitists do, and that's what the elitists want. So we just, at least for me, I don't. Now on my other channel I do, because I only get like maybe a handful of
thank you, Constellation
comments.
Pegasus.
Yeah, thank you.
Mike's words are ingrained in my head.
Mike and Kim are the best.
Do your research.
That one too. Do your research.
Do your research. Thank you.
Well, there again, that, you know, even that simple little phrase right there, do your research, is one of those hypnotic type things.
Thank you, everybody. I just realized we have more here with us than is in any Kingdom Hall.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, 407. Thank you guys so much for sharing the afternoon with us.
Yeah.
We certainly appreciate all of your kind gestures, your appreciation and your love. You know, and you know, I don't want to, you know, pattern the old cliche, well, without you guys we wouldn't have a channel. Thank you, because there is a lot of truth in that, but the cult people use that same mechanism too. You go into the church, well, if the church wasn't full we wouldn't have a congregation, and for me personally, my personal opinion is those are very culty words. Without you we wouldn't have a channel. So
we just would have as many to talk to.
But I do want to make sure that people are not trying to accuse us of starting our own cult like some other people around the world have, because that's not our intention. Our intention is 100% absolute. Find your freedom.
News on the coffins and pins. You know, funny thing about that is I had lost my list when I painted my office. And we did find the board over there. We did find the board, and I did finally find my list. There's just a couple, though, that are on the list. I mean, I guess I could just mention them and we can just put the pins on later. Tony, Carol, Kent, an ex-elder, Dawn, A.M., Debbie, a couple, Lucinda and Glenn, Gina. So those are the names I do have, and we'll put their pins on the coffin lid.
Yeah, it just seems like a couple of years back, as a whole, the community kind of lost interest in that. It kind of became maybe a little mundane, if that's the right use of the word in this application. So maybe now would be a good and you also have to remember too that Watchtower is emptying out. And I mentioned this before, the more Watchtower empties out, the less and less and less names we're going to have for the coffin lid too.
Yeah. Thank you, Vancouver.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Appreciate it. Let's celebrate their first super on a live stream. Well, thank you. Thank you. We appreciate it, and we don't expect people to give us money.
No,
we don't expect it, but we appreciate it, very much.
We, for us, we just enjoy doing this stuff all together, whether we record, and then put it up later, or we do this stuff live. And I got to admit, for me, doing it live is a little different without dropping a few F-bombs here and there. So I got to really kind of watch my P's and Q's.
I have been known to drop a few cuss words myself.
Yeah, we've had to edit them out.
In fact,
oh yeah,
I don't know. Let me see
if you
can grab it.
Put my fat butt in front of the screen.
I have been known to say a few cuss words myself, but I just did this cross stitch pattern. I don't know if you guys can see this. Yeah, kind of glaring. Yep.
Yeah.
After this shit show, hell should be easy.
For all those Christians that think we're going to go to hell because of what we do about the Bible, guess what? Hell will be easy.
Well, that's why I did it. I seen that as a meme, and it's like, oh, that is just too funny. So I actually had to go create the cross stitch pattern, and then it's taken me a couple of months to do that because that's my relaxing, de-stressing, sometimes in the afternoons.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. So
we're forgiving. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So anyhow, I guess maybe we should just look at a couple of these comments before we say goodbye, because we don't want to eat up all you guys. I think the last time we did a live stream was an hour and a half or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me see. I'm not sure. Thank you, Vancouver.
DF last weekend. Wow. Yeah. Second time. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Stay free.
Yeah.
Repeat after me. I'm free. I'm free.
Thank you, old biker. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah. That's the biggest thing. And that's why we're here. It's just, we know everybody has to take their own journey. That's why we never tell anybody what to believe. And, you need to do this and you need to do that. And it's like, no, everybody has to take their own journey. And we just want to help people, just to help them just wake up and see patterns. And
that's the biggest thing.
Like we said,
patterns.
And I get we get so many phone calls and emails, and it's like, you guys are more awake than you let on in your videos, aren't you?
Don't let that get out. Don't let anybody know.
Yeah. No, Beth, we definitely do not support Lloydie Boy.
No.
Yeah.
Well, why would we support him when he's trying to sue our asses? I mean, isn't that a conflict of interest?
Yeah. Now I know that Kim Silvio took down. I believe she took down her videos about that because we had actually done a court update on that New Year's Day, and I believe she took that down. But the update is no matter what you hear from
The other side of the world.
yeah, from what we know is
Bye, Marty.
bye, Marty. Appreciate all of you joining us. Is that November? He had a certain time to get documents in, the actual evidence of what all of us had actually done. And he had until a certain time. And then in November, apparently they were trying to serve him papers and they went to his old house where his wife and in-laws live. And they actually sent the police because it's court documents. And apparently it said the wife told him he doesn't live there anymore. And the court needs his current address in Zagreb. And he has been given a certain amount of time to translate all of these court documents and serve us. Thank you, Constellation Pegasus. Appreciate it. To get us served these papers in our languages. And he hasn't done that yet. So when he says it's glacially slow, Croatia legal system, and like I said, he keeps saying criminals, criminals. We haven't been charged with anything. There's a difference between a prosecutor charging you with something and someone filing a civil lawsuit because they're libelous.
Yeah.
Yeah, libelous.
Yeah. So anyhow, guys,
Yes.
thanks. We
Thank you.
greatly appreciate. Kim
Thank
and
you
I told ourselves we'd only do this for about an hour, and we're at 57 minutes already.
Yeah.
So that hour's going.
Plus, I'm not sure how long, the live stream is allowed because last time, as soon as it hit an hour, kind of like cut us off.
Yeah. So thank you guys.
How can he sue you from another country? Good question.
He can't. He can't.
Especially when we have freedom of speech, allegedly, here in the United States.
Yeah.
So,
well, there again, it's one of those cult control mechanisms. Criminals, criminals, criminals. How'd you come into the truth? How long you been in the truth? It's the same mechanism that's being employed, and you have to learn to recognize that.
Yeah.
You really do.
How are your dogs? Our dogs are doing fine. Unfortunately, Dusty is no longer with us. She was about 6 years old. She had canine lupus, and it went into her brain, and she went insane.
Yeah.
And so
dangerously insane.
Yeah, dangerously insane to where she was trying to kill all the other dogs.
Yeah.
I mean, and she was like a vicious pit bull. And she was even snapping at me. So unfortunately, Dusty is no longer with us, but we still have Abby. And then, of course, the two puppies. I think maybe on our next video, I'll have a short clip of our puppies. They're full grown now and huge and a mess.
And Zip, I mean, he's a male dog, and of course he's been neutered. But I mean that dog is intelligent on a level that even blows my mind away. I am just flabbergasted how intelligent that male dog truly is.
Yeah.
I don't have to discipline that dog whatsoever. When he has to go out at night, he does a couple of little things, ritually, and it's like, okay, he's got to go out, and he'll go out, do his thing, and come right back in and lay right back. I mean, it's just, for me,
Good
it's
dogs.
just mind-blowing how intelligent that dog really is.
Good dogs. And for those of you that don't know, our kids actually got one of the puppies from the same litter. And so their sister, Mira, comes to play whenever the kids come out. And so the kids will come out and they'll bring their dog. And, oh, boy, it's hilarious just to see the three of them all playing. And
It's truly a family affair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love
Yeah.
all of
So,
you
yes,
also.
thank you so much for sharing
Yes,
your
we
time
will
with
try to
us.
keep doing this as long as we can. And we're not ready to give up the fight yet. We're not ready.
No, it's just,
And especially now when I can see behind the scenes. Thank you, Southern Boss Lady, very much. Love you too. And especially when we can see some things that are behind the scenes, and we're not like some that go tooting their own horn and bragging on social media. Oh, look what I did. I've done this. I've done that. It's like, no, this is an ongoing investigation. We need to keep quiet.
yeah.
So anyway, but things are being done behind the scenes, so we can't quit now because it's too much is involved with all of this. So
I guess, guys, thanks again so
Love.
much for your loving kindnesses, your gestures of kindness. We greatly appreciate it. But more importantly, we just love being with people, talking with people,
Yeah.
and interacting as much as we can in this type of situation.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess in closing, I just want to say, you guys live your lives the way you want to now. Find something that interests you, hobbies, something to do out in the world, something that we were never able to do. Just, enjoy life and enjoy your freedom. And that's what it's about. And just try to be nice to one another. Just try to be nice from one another.
Well,
Hi from
again,
Oklahoma.
yes.
Thank you, AM.
And there again, we have to remember, Watchtower tried to indoctrinate us with absolute hate for everybody that's not a Jehovah. You need to learn to break that. And sometimes that's difficult, even in the world that we're living now with a whole lot of different political pitches that are being thrown at us completely.
There's our daughter.
Oh,
hi, Shyla. Be creative too.
Yeah,
be creative, because that is what keeps our minds young.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And stay positive
and challenge yourself. Challenge yourselves, guys. See, that was one thing that you weren't allowed to do as a Jehovah's Witness. Challenge yourself. You had all of 1,000 years plus, all of everlasting life to challenge yourself then. You need to busy yourself with the preaching work. No, challenge yourself now. That's a good key to happiness.
Yeah, and think outside the box. And if something interests you, hey, check it out.
I kind of like the beard too. Sometimes it gets kind of scruffy, but hey, maybe I need one of those beard face cleansers. That was promoted in that demonstration.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah. Oh, good Lord. So anyway, it's been an hour. So love all of you, and thank you for joining us for this. And we appreciate everything. We appreciate the love and support and the kindness and everything. So you all have a wonderful week.
And enjoy the rest of the evening.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.